Hello, good evening, everyone. Wherever you're joining us from all over the world, this is the Association of Nigerian Educational Psychologists. Today, as we all know, is what mental health. We understand the role of mental health in the life of our students, and we must pay careful attention to these as educators. We must pay careful attention to these as teachers and parents. With us today, Dr. Olajobi. Dr. Olajobi will join us today to tell us about something very profound. We're talking on PERMA and the mental health of our students. PERMA, you may be wondering, what is PERMA? And how does it relate to the mental health of our students? Dr. Olajobi, tell us briefly about PERMA and the mental health of our students. Now, Dr. Olajobi, welcome on board. Dr. Olajobi is an accredited management consultant and the director of Learning and Training Care Services. He is also the CEO and performance change management consultant at New Neurons Concepts, a change management consulting firm that focuses on performance and change management coaching for career people, among other things. He's a trained psychotherapist, psychologist. He studies medicine at the prestigious University of Lagos and has diplomas in psychology and change management. He organizes school, academic, and life coaching programs for students by working with students, parents, government, and non-governmental organizations. He has special interest in children who have difficulty learning and has recorded unbelievable successes with the category of students aforementioned. He strongly believes that the mindset of a motivated teacher can change the life of any student for the better. Of course, positive psychology is what we'll be talking about this evening, which resonates with that. Dr. Olajobi also coaches teachers on effective teaching strategies and facilitates teachers training and learning improvement programs nationwide. He is the author of a maths book called I'm Loving This Maths, a book that has affected the lives of both children and adults in Nigeria and overseas, as it's fondly called Dr. O. Dr. O, you're welcome on board. Welcome on board, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Limide. So, because we have a very short time, I'll just plunge into the discussion. Now, let's first talk about how we develop our emotional strength. So, we have both the genetic and the social environmental factors that affect our emotional strength. What makes us who we are, the way we think, the perspective we form of people or of the world. There are two major players: our genetic composition and the environmental factors. Genetic composition meaning that if a father has depression or had depression, there is a likelihood that a child can have depression. If a twin brother has depression, an identical twin, there is higher chances that that identical twin can have, as opposed to an unidentical twin. So that is genetic, it's in the gene, just like a lot of health conditions. Mental attitude is coded in the gene. Happiness, yes, it's coded in the gene, but we can learn it. All these things can be learned, and that's where the environmental factors come in. So a child who has in his gene depressive condition, maybe the parent was depressed, a father had depression, it means there's likelihood for the son or the daughter to be depressed too. But if the factors around that child are favorable, if that child is not predisposed to conditions that will push him into depression, if that boy is lived with people that helped him from childhood to be rugged, don't forget that every human being that is born is born resilient, is born strong. But the environmental conditions are the things that make one child to be more gritty, to be grittier than the other, or to be weaker or softer than the other. The environmental factors. When a child is born and the child is not allowed to go through life challenges at all, everything the child needs, you give the child. When the child is going to have a problem, you take the problem off. I don't mean that you give problems to children, but a child that doesn't face challenges growing up, that child is going to be is likely weak child. Child that faces little challenge growing up is likely to be a strong child. You know, we grow through discomfort. The situation of the butterfly is a big one to remember here. When the caterpillar grows into a butterfly, the caterpillar leaves its cocoon. It comes out through pain. And while coming out, it sheds off all the water on its body. And so it comes out and is light, so it can fly. One day, a farmer saw this and said, I would help any other caterpillar I see, so that caterpillar will not feel pain. And so he saw another caterpillar that was trying to evolve into a butterfly. What did this farmer do? What did he do? He broke the cocoon. And so the caterpillar shed away the water. And so it was heavy. In a few hours to days, the caterpillar exhausted all the food in its body and couldn't fly because it was too heavy to fly. It couldn't get food. And so the caterpillar died and did not evolve into a butterfly. That is what happens when you make life easy for children growing up. And that's why you see nowadays there is high incidence of depression. You see a child, it's small little things, it pisses him off because we've not helped them to be able to wait. We've not helped them to strengthen their mental capacity. Now, when kids are also growing up, we allow them to watch different things. They can watch anything they like on TV or on their gadgets, on their laptop or desktop. They have access to everything. They watch horror, and I've seen a teenager said, "Oh, horror, what's wrong with horror? It's exciting." Come on. They're killing somebody, they're getting blood, they're tormenting, they're terrorizing. Who feels free when the world is in chaos? What happened to America September 11, 2001 was not funny. It was not funny at all. It was a lot of distress for the whole world because some people terrorized America. Terror there's nothing good in it. People that terrorize are people that are sick. Even if they say they are fighting for their rights or they are fighting for religion or for tribe or race, whatever. You don't terrorize. So, what we consume growing up, the kind of books we read, the kind of people we live with. If you live with parents that are always complaining, you will never see any good in life. You will always be complaining. If you live with parents that are always saying, okay, though it's tough, but we can make it out. Let's be grateful for the little we have. Oh, we're grateful, oh God. We are grateful, we are grateful. Gratitude is a very powerful thing. And so, that is how we develop our mental, emotional status. Now, let's quickly go to positive psychology. It's about using happiness, positive emotions, teaching resilience, performing performing well in relationships, regarding the other person, caring for the other person, saying good things to the other person. These are things that have been found by psychologists to help. In fact, the research was done in the 90s. They checked write-ups, essays that were written by Catholic nuns. Catholic nuns, they wrote these things in the 1930s. They wrote essays, personal essays about what they envisioned, about their past life experience and what they envisioned for themselves. Those that wrote that I know something good, that wrote positivity, they lived much longer than those people that use negativity or less. So just saying, Nigeria will be fine. It's going to make me live longer than somebody that say, you will not be fine, you will not be good. Things are so bad. It's negative emotions. Even if I don't see how it's going to work out fine. And so a research was also done in Australia where they taught this PERMA. PERMA is positive emotions, smile, engagement, relationship with people, meaning, that's purpose, being purposeful, finding meaning in life. When you're working, you add meaning to it. You're purposeful. Live a life of purpose and also accomplishment. You know, doing things for others, being selfless and feeling accomplished. They taught these children, and you know, it changed the way students performed emotionally in that school, and eventually, of course, it affected their academic performance. And they went back to school. Do you know that for the next 2 years, students were still emotionally better? Depression was reduced, rate of anxiety was reduced in children because teachers were coached in PERMA. So we can do this to help our students. Just understand this. Students that are more emotionally stable, they get better results in their academics. If you have a student who is not so emotionally stable, who has gotten a good result in the academics, and you feel, oh, well, but this one still got, that child will have performed much better than he performed. So it's important to understand this. We need to start asking questions about what do these students consume. Our counselors in school, you know, we need to engage the government, because you will see that in a lot of schools now, the counselors don't do their job as counselors. Counselors are made to teach. And even the schools that the counselors want to work, the teachers are not happy with them. They don't give them the kind of opportunity they need, the chance, the space, the referral of students that have emotional issues or academic problems. A lot of times, a child that has academic problems is because he has some emotional issues. Some students will perform poorly just because they have problem at home. Do you know that the things we hear affect the way we behave? And so it begins with you. How can we help students develop a strong emotional health? It starts from helping teachers develop strong emotional wellness. So teachers get into education by chance. It is not, you can have up to 30 to 40%. We are going to do that. We need to do that research. ANF needs to conduct it. What is the percentage of teachers in Nigeria or in Lagos that are teaching because they want to impact? What's the percentage? We have more people teaching because there is no job. Somebody read engineering and there is no job. Teaching is the easiest job to get. It goes into teaching. Somebody read biochemistry. Doesn't get a job as biochemist. It goes into teaching. Somebody read accounting. Doesn't get a job as accountant. It goes into teaching. That is why most people go into teaching. So it's circumstance. So you have a lot of teachers, they're frustrated. They are not happy being there. They don't understand that education or teaching is not what is causing their problem. It is they. I saw a video about 2 weeks ago of a man who went to, or maybe 1 week ago, of a man who went to, I think it was Lautech, and this person went to return his certificate, that is bachelor's degree. And why did this guy go to he said he wanted to return it, and the security were saying no. He said he wanted to see the VC, and he made a scene. Why? He said because he's been out for several years, maybe like 10 years or so, and he has not gotten any job. Until now, his father is still the one giving him money. And the father, the last time he told his father he needed money, his father said, what's wrong with you? Is this how you're going to borrow money for my burial? And so he just thought twice that, like, he has to end this. So our education is faulty. In the university is faulty. In secondary is faulty. In primary is faulty. In nursery is faulty. We don't help people to see reason why they are learning. And so even a teacher that graduates as even an educator, most of the people that go into education, those that are in faculty of education, go and check. We need to do that research. What percentage of them chose education primarily? What percentage of them chose education because they wanted to teach? Forget about passion, because a lot of people say, I have passion, I have passion. Forget about passion, because we can't measure it. People can just use their mouth to say it. But that they felt, oh, I would like to teach. That's why I want to choose education. Most people there did not do that. Most people in education are people who did not meet their cutoff mark and they were given education. So they graduate. And some of them still want to work in bank. There are still some people like that. Yet there are people that graduate from other departments that will end up becoming teachers too. So all these people feel unhappy and sad and feel this education, this teaching is actually a second fiddle and just managing it. And it's not the teaching that is their problem. They are the problem now because they can't find some other job with what they graduated in. So that's how is teaching the problem. So we need to help teachers with their mental health. If we're able to help teachers with their mental health, I swear this country is going to be on its way to real greatness. They need to understand the concept of life and self-actualization. They need to understand positive emotions, engagement, relationship, meaning. Because when you put meaning into your teaching, everything changes. When you want to be accomplished, everything changes. So if they are taught, they are coached, they can transfer it to their students. You can't teach and get results without compassion. It's not possible. Empathy, love, care. Most teachers don't have it. And so I saw a post on LinkedIn or a student who wrote, and complained about teachers are not, making them learn and encouraging them and all that. And I said, it's because a lot of teachers found their way into teaching by chance. And that's why actually the national policy on education is very strong, but it's not being followed line by line. You must be a teacher to teach. You must be a trained educator. Now, if you're not a trained educator, then they will give you some time to go and get your PhD. And there is a lot of process. There's a lot of thing in law about training and retraining of teachers, but we are not implementing it. But what we need to add more is emotional health, wellness of teachers. How can we handle it? Because all those things are their vanity. When you help people with core skills, but they don't have good attitude, their life is meaningless. So when teachers are focused on, when teachers get better with their emotional health, then they'll begin to teach better. When teachers understand that money is ephemeral, money is fleeting. When your focus is on money, you can never get money. But when your focus is on impact, you will get money. You will get money. Even from education, from teaching. I'm a trained medical doctor, but I make more money from teaching than from medical practice now. It's because I've found a meaning in teaching. Every teacher must look for a meaning in teaching. They must be into it. So we need to help teachers get over their emotional challenges and fall in love with teaching, or at least not hate it. Because when they hate it, they will hate the students. And when they hate the student will not like them. And if the student don't like them, the student will not learn. And the students are failing. And then sometimes you saw teachers, they present themselves as being passionate. They want their students to learn. They want their students to learn. But the truth is, they don't really understand that that's not how to do passion, how to make students learn. That's not how to do it. And you want to force them to learn. No. You encourage them, you inspire them to learn. That's a great teacher. So we need to find a way of helping teachers with their emotional health. We can use this positive psychology, the PERMA, when people look more at life from the perspective of hope and gratitude. Yes, when they look at meaning, they want to get meaning for their life. When teachers begin to be purposeful And parents are more purposeful too. You know, when we have people that fail becoming teachers, then there's problem. And that's why we need more qualitative people to go into teaching. Yes. So for those people that may not be doing so well, we can help them to up their game. When they see meaning in their lives in teaching, then they work harder on themselves to get better. And when they get better, they will be able to inspire the students. They will help the students to be emotionally sound, and they will get interested in learning. So, you know, I don't know if you have any question for me. The time is almost over. Do you have any question for me, or I should just go on and...
Thank you very much, sir. Is there any question for Dr. Olajobi? Any question for him? Or we shall go ahead?
Okay, let me go ahead. If you don't have a question.
I don't.
Okay, so let me round up. So my final submission is that parents and teachers have a lot of work to do for us to produce children that are mentally stable. But you know, I won't blame parents too much. I'll blame teachers more. And I blame teachers more because parents don't go to school to become parents. Parents marry, or they don't marry, they have sexual intercourse, a woman gets pregnant, the woman delivers, and the woman becomes a parent. The man becomes a parent. That's how to become a parent. And for those that marry, even the marriage, they get certificate before practicing the marriage itself. You know, they do wedding and they get certificate for marriage certificate. They have not graduated. They are just going to school the day that they get married. So, but for teachers, you go to school. For those that didn't read education, you read engineering or accounting. The day you take up a job as a teacher, they will train you in that school for a school that makes sense. And some will insist after some time that you go and get a project diploma. And when you do project diploma, you are going to do educational psychology. You are going to do a lot of things about learning. And when you understand learning how people think, then you can help to build the child into a sane adult that is sound and critically, that's a critical thinker, a problem solver that will change the society. This is what happens when a teacher is properly thoroughbred. So, if a teacher has a bit of a knowledge of psychology, and so we are supposed to call parents to order. Look at the way cheating is in Nigeria, in our educational system. They do common entrance, they do basic education, certification examination, they do WAEC, they cheat, they do JAM, they cheat. Even in JAM, as much as what's it called? CBT they are doing. Because everybody is sick. May God heal us. When a teacher believes in himself, he will go all out to teach the students. If he's not getting it right, he will keep asking questions from those that know till he gets it right. So, parents, please, we need to collaborate with teachers. They are not your enemies. Collaborate with the schools your children are going. No matter how much you are paying, you still have a responsibility to make sure that the school is successful. You don't need to get annoyed with the school. If you feel they're charging you too much, go to a school that is cheaper and stop running down schools. Stop running down teachers. Don't talk down on your teachers, on your student teacher in front of your student. When you do that, there's a problem. Your child is not going to learn. Your child is not going to regard his teacher or her teacher. So you need to understand that you must respect your student teacher so that your child's teacher, so that your child can respect the teacher. So let's collaborate, let's work together so that we can change the world. If we have challenges with our emotions, please let us see psychologists. Let's see therapists, let's see counselors. We can handle it. We can handle it. All of us can learn happiness. All of us, we can learn it. Everybody that has a brain has the capacity to learn. Cognitive, that is intellectually, 1 + 1, 2 × 4. Anybody can learn math and excel in it. We can learn psychomotor skills, movement, exercise, writing skills. They're all psychomotor skills. We can learn it. Anybody can learn it. Anybody that has a brain can learn. Emotional skills, emotional health skills, happiness, we can learn it. We can learn it. We just need to be committed. We need to be interested in it. When you're interested in learning it, you will learn it. So, as parents, as teachers, let us prepare ourselves. Let's wake up to this call. We must break that circle of somebody who is not okay emotionally. He gives birth to a child, the child grows up, he's not okay emotionally too. So when somebody is not okay emotionally, your responsibility is to get treatment for yourself. Then you can be fine. Because it's going to affect your children anyway. And for the teachers too, we need to heal ourselves. You need to get therapy. When you are happy, your students will be happy. You'll be able to teach well. When you are happy, you'll be able to think well also. You will understand that your salary is the only thing you are earning. You can't steal. So you have to manage your wealth. You will not chase what is not real. I'm hoping that one of these days, we'll talk about financial intelligence for teachers. You know, so that when teachers understand how to manage their wealth, no matter how small it is, and then manage it and then grow it, it's possible. Everybody can. We just need to be committed. Thank you for listening. It's been an interesting time, about 25 minutes. I hope we've taken some lessons, and then for those that will be watching later, it's okay. You take the lessons, and you can drop messages, I'm sure, with ANEP officials, and then we'll get back to you. Olumide, thank you for conducting.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Olajobi. We are so grateful for having you this evening. I hope we have all learned a lot. As educators, as parents, we have a lot of things to learn about these concepts. And once again, Dr. Olajobi has brought to us PERMA and its impact on the mental health of our students. And what is PERMA? In summary, it's a positive emotions, engagements, relationships, and even meaning and accomplishments. The role they play in the life of our students, the role they play in our lives as teachers, as educators. So in summary, in our schools as teachers, or as educators as we are, we have to emphasize the fact that every student must be brought up positively. It means that the onus lies on the teachers not only to aspire to get the most from the students or to get the most of his abilities or abilities, but also to inspire that student to be productive, to inspire that student to get the best. And that onus lies on the teachers, lies on the parents, as we have heard Dr. O talk about today. So let us pay careful attention to our emotions, to our engagements. We should engage our children, our students, that they become resilient learners. We should throw challenges at them and make them see them grow through it, as he gave the analogy of the caterpillar. Even the eagle, they make sure the eaglets, they are thrown from a very high height to make sure that they are grounded, they are very strong. These, I believe, when we put this into practice in our lives as teachers, put this into practice in our life as educators, as parents, we will accomplish a better world. So do not just aspire to have your students learn, to have your parents, your students and your children learn, but to have them inspired by attitude. Attitude is everything. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Olajobi. We are so grateful having you on board. We hope to have you some other times. And thank you very much, everyone on board today. Thank you. If you have questions, you can please come up with your questions before we wrap it up. In the absence of that, we'll wrap it up. Doctor, any last word for us?
Yes, let's be mindful. Yes, to be able to do well with our emotional health, we need mindfulness. So in the morning, part of the things we can do is also do what's it called, meditation. Meditation, it helps us mindful. It calls you to order, and then we say positive things to ourselves. Your inner speech is very important. When you say positive things to yourself, you're much better. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much, Dr. Once again, from positive psychology, you have to be mindful, you have to be positive, you have to introspect, you have to be introspective to understand your own self-concept and to ensure that your life is a meaningful life and you feel accomplished in what you're doing as a teacher, as an educator, and you get more results if you're able to inspire learners to become the best version of themselves. Thank you very much, Dr. Olajobi. Thank you very much, every other member of UNED and every other visitor. We are so grateful for us of our social media handles, and we'll see you more and more again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.